Hey, what's up you guys, it's Nasir and welcome back to my channel where we do story times, skits, and play video games whenever we want. Today I have another story time for you guys, and this story time stems all the way back from my freshman year of high school. All the high school stories I've told so far were very interesting ones, but this one I think is going to be one of the more serious ones because it has to do with a relationship, if that's what you want to call it, with a person that was very confusing and confused themselves. For this story time, I'm going to be giving this character a code name, and it's going to be Cookie. The reason I gave this person the code name Cookie is because they are very similar to a character that I've already been doing on this channel, which was Brownie. From my story time about my chorus class, I'll leave the screenshot right here if you guys want to go watch that. Cookie and Brownie become friends in the distant future. I'll save that story time for another time, but for this linear series I guess I'm doing of events that happen, because this is probably the start of it all. I think I'm going to start with this person and then I'm going to stem off to other people. To start off the story, me and Cookie had this class together called Intro to Acting in our school. And we met each other through an assignment that we were given together. Whenever we were assigned to do something in this class, we had to be scene partners and act in a scene together. This assignment in particular, I was paired up with Cookie. A lot of people in our class were, well, not a lot of people, only like the select few of girls that knew that I was gay, and they also knew that Cookie was curious in that way. They liked the fact that we were together because I guess he was telling them in private that he had a crush on me or whatever. We were talking, getting to know each other, and I got bold and said, hey, we should hang out sometime. So we started adding each other on social media, Instagram, Snapchat, and whatnot. And we would talk a lot every day. He would show me a bunch of his makeup looks. I thought that was cool. I would show him video games I would play, and I don't think he really cared too much about that, but the point is that we had fun talking together. The downside of this friendship was that whenever I would see Cookie in person, he would act like he didn't even know me. I would say hi to him, he would ignore me, turn away. Just anything I did, he would just avoid me at all costs.
So long story short, he's kind of my boyfriend right now. Is there like cheer practice today?
Excuse me? Who the fuck are you?
So I started to get tired of this, so eventually I asked him what was wrong, and he told me that he wasn't gay, but that he was demisexual. If you guys don't know what demisexual is, I'll leave the description right here. A demisexual person is a person who is emotionally attracted to people and not attracted to people off of like whether they're a boy or a girl or any other thing. It's just emotional attraction. Like they got to know that person, they really like that person, so they're dating that person, which is very similar to pansexuality, but I don't think it's the exact same thing. So he told me that, and that he wasn't really sure about if he liked me or not. And I was like, that's okay. But where I drew the line was when we saw each other in person. I went to go hug him, and he like pushed me, like physically pushed me down very hard onto the floor. I fell on my ass and everything. And I was like, what the fuck? And everyone in the class was looking. It was really dramatic. And he was like, don't touch me. So at this point, I felt like I was pushing boundaries. And I felt like that he didn't want to be bothered anymore. So I unfollowed him on social media. I removed him on Snapchat. I was avoiding him. And then he tried to add me back on those things. And I accepted it. And he texted me and he was like, oh, why did you unfollow me? Why did you do this? Why did you do that? And I was like, well, I mean, you clearly don't want to be bothered, so I'm respecting your space. And he said, no, it's not like that. I don't know what I want. I feel like a lot of young gay boys go through something like this. Like, they find a boy that is like them, that also likes boys, but they're DL, you know? They don't want anyone to know that they're gay, or they don't want to be seen in public with another man or another boy. in this manner. They just aren't ready to come out yet. At that point, I was proud of who I was. I didn't care. And if he's still on that stage, you're holding me back. And I basically told him that I wanted to cut it off. He didn't really like that. He kept approaching me in school, trying to attempt to talk to me. I would give him the cold shoulder, go to my classes, focus on school. And one day, he came up to me before I was going to class, and he said that he wrote a song about me.
I'm not your boyfriend. I'm not your boyfriend. I'm not your boyfriend. I'm not your boyfriend.
I was very, very uncomfortable about this. He was getting ready to sing me the song, and I was like, no, please get away from me. This is where our relationship with each other, like friendship-wise, stopped, like completely. That was all there was to us. Me and Cookie didn't talk again until my junior year of high school. For context of this part of the story, I have to explain to you guys something very sensitive and hard to admit that I did in my sophomore year. In my sophomore year of high school, I attempted to jump out of a window in the middle of my social studies class because I was at a very low point in my life because of everything that was going on in my personal life. I ended up in a mental hospital and I recovered and got back to school. As to why this is important to the story, you guys will see. So when I came back from the hospital, everyone that was ignoring me prior to that were suddenly like being really nice to me, giving me cards, giving me candy, like saying that they were always my friend and this and that. And I was just like, I'm so over the fakeness of everyone I have to interact with on a day-to-day basis. I was just so over like people in general at that point. A lot of people in my high school in general, they would tell other people that they were helping me in some way, giving me food, which were all lies, giving me food, giving me clothes, doing this and that for me because I was going through a very rough time. They would say this as a means to get popularity off of it. Like, whenever someone would say, oh, I helped Nasir out with this, I helped Nasir out with that, everyone would be like, oh my gosh, you're so cool. And then those people would get a bunch of friends and a bunch of attention just because they said that they helped me in some way. This happened very frequently in my high school, and I just see it as the most disgusting thing, like getting clout off of something you're not doing and also pretending like you're there for a person when you aren't. It's so fake, and that's the type of school my school was. These are the type of people that were there. Where Cookie comes back into the story is the fact that Cookie was seeing me go through this rough time, seeing all this chaos happen around me. There was a bunch of drama happening all around me during my junior year of high school, and he decided that he wanted to write a song about me. I, of course, not even speaking to Cookie for years, did not have any knowledge of this. We were not friends at all. I didn't even know his last name, if I'm being completely honest. In my junior year, we also shared the same chorus class. We weren't in acting class anymore together. This was chorus class now. In our chorus class, with this written song of his, he showed it to our chorus teacher on a day that I wasn't present inside of my chorus class. My chorus teacher thought the song was really good because it was so catchy and everything. Shared it with the class. Cookie then explained to the whole class that he wrote this song about a person that is very close to him and that he was seen going through a rough time and he was just hurt and he feels like he could have done more to help out said person, and that he really loves this person.
Bruh.
Loves this person, guys. Yes, he used that word.
Bruh.
And then went on to admit that that person was me. Everyone in the classroom knew that this song was about me at this point. But because nobody in my chorus class liked me, everyone in my chorus class had an individual issue with me and my boyfriend Joseph at the time. And there was also another friend of ours. It was the three of us. They hated all three of us in that whole class. We would always get bullied in that class. They would always talk shit about us when we weren't there. Like, The reason I wasn't there this day was probably because me and my boyfriend Joseph decided to skip the class, because every time we walked in there, we would always get looks. We would always get shit talked. It's kind of toxic and very annoying to be in that type of environment continuously. It's very mentally exhausting, like you guys have no idea. One day, me and Joseph do come into class and we hear the song. We hear the class learning the song. And when the teacher tells us, like, me and Joseph, she's like, oh yeah, Cookie was the one that wrote the song. Isn't it really good, guys? Joseph comes over to me and he's like, hey, do you think that Cookie was the one that wrote this song? And do you think it's about you? Because the song's lyrics was very, like, it sounded like it was talking about me. The lyrics in the song went along the lines of this. It was saying, like, we can be together, we're just broken hearts, this and that, and like, it's basically like a love song, you know? It was talking about this love story that never happened, but is all inside of Cookie's head. I didn't know this because I just assumed, I was like, I didn't know. I was like, I know that he did in the past write a song about me, but I don't think that this is what the song is, because at the time, I wasn't even going through a rough time. I was fine. Why would he write these lyrics about me? That's really creepy. One, why would he think this way about me, not come up to me and say it himself? Which I would have rejected him anyway, because I literally had a boyfriend. There's just a bunch of aspects to it where I was just like, there's no way the song is about me. Like, it could have been about anyone in his life. I didn't want to just assume, one, and I just felt like it wasn't about me, two. And I didn't really care enough about the song to ask anyone in the class or the teacher if the song was about me or not. Day by day, we're practicing this song over and over and over. Then, suddenly, my chorus teacher tells us that we're going to be performing the song in front of a bunch of people in a concert for the school. Everyone in the class was very excited about this. And then I didn't care, because we always did concerts, and she said that, yeah, we're performing that song and other songs that we sing every day in the class. So I was like, okay, cool. Comes the day where we sing this song in front of people. We're singing all the rest of the songs, we're all fine and dandy, and then my chorus teacher stands up and starts talking on a microphone, all dramatic like, and she's like, yes, one of our students was going through a rough time. Cookie decided that he wanted to write a song about this person and about how much he loves this person and how much he wants to help out this person that is going through all of these rough things in his life, and this song is dedicated to that person. She was just going on a whole speech about how sentimental this is to Cookie. Before I continue the story, I have to mention this. I have to. There was a point where we were practicing the song before the concert day. I'm sorry if I'm getting off track here, but before the concert day, there was a time where we were practicing this song that I'm talking about, and Cookie got up out of his seat and went backstage in the back of the auditorium, and he was crying, guys. He was crying, bawling, crying, and people got up and went after him and was comforting him over how much he felt about the song. Like, he was so emotional with this song. He felt like actual heavy emotions from this. So that's even more cemented of a feeling why I just felt like the song wasn't about me. I was like, why would it be about me? Back to the present now. My chorus teacher, she's saying this whole speech about how important this song is to Cookie. And then she's like, and it was made for a very special person. And she looks at me and she smiles and then nods her head, insinuating that the song is about me. And then I look around and then I point at myself and I'm like, me? And she's just like, she like basically confirms that the song is about me. So immediately I just start having the biggest panic attack I've ever had in my life. Like, I was hyperventilating, my chest was hurting, like, I just felt like, wow, this is actually fucking happening. It felt like a freaking TV show scene from like fucking Degrassi or some shit. Like, it was this dramatic. And as soon as I get that confirmation, I turn and I look at Joseph, and I'm like, there's no way. I like shake my head, and he's just looking as shocked as I am, even though he kind of was suspecting that it was about me. But I think I wanted the song to not be about me. I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt, but the song, guys, the song was really about me. The song was really about me. I was so creeped out, and then we had to sing it. I wasn't even singing it. I was mouthing the words. I didn't even want to mouth the words, but I did. I was just listening to... At that point, I started listening to the lyrics of the song. It was saying, I miss your smile. We can be together. We're just broken hearts. I don't know what fantasy this boy was living in, but I was dumbfounded. I was at a loss for words. Right after we sang the song, I just stormed out. I had to leave. I had to leave that area. The concert was over. Everyone was leaving. And Joseph was like comforting me because I was like hyperventilating and having a mental breakdown after what I just had to go through. And meanwhile, Cookie and his group of the rest of our chorus class are all comforting Cookie. They're all comforting Cookie about this. And they're all glaring at me. They're all glaring at me. Saying shit about me like, oh my gosh, he should be grateful that you wrote that song about him. Why is he acting this way and this and that? And like, guys, I'm sweating right now remembering this. Like, oh my gosh, it was a lot. After this clusterfuck of events that I just explained to you guys went down, I went home. My boyfriend came with me. He sat down with me at my house, and I was just talking to him about this, and he was like, what were those lyrics of the song? Did you guys like actually have a relationship? Like, did you date him? I was trying to explain to him that it looked bad. Like, it looked like, from the lyrics of the song, it sounded like we were messing with each other present time. Like I was freaking cheating on my boyfriend or something. And it was a horrible look. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I don't know why he would write something like that about me. It was just, like, I just felt so disgusted, confused. And I explained to him continuously that the only form of relationship I've had with this person is when I was a freshman. I even went back to my old messenger, like, text messages, and I showed them to Joseph, and I was like, look, this is literally all we ever talked about, and, like, all we ever said to each other, and, like, that's it. We ended, like, whatever we had in freshman year, and we never even dated, we never kissed, we never even really hugged, like, we never did anything romantic. He just had feelings for me that I didn't have in return, and probably continued to have for years, and I didn't know about it. That's not even where the story ends, though. So while we're sitting here, like, I'm explaining this to him, Joseph is like, he's not stupid. He already knew that that wasn't the case, and he was just like, I didn't even need to show him those messages, to be honest. I just was showing them to him for confirmation. He didn't ask me to see that. I showed them to him for confirmation. And I was just like, yeah, he's a psychopath. And what even cemented it even more was the fact that Cookie goes and texts me while Joseph is next to me, sitting in my bed, and he sends this long paragraph message on Instagram, and he's like, oh, he was like, I still have feelings for you, and like, you didn't have to storm out. You made a whole big scene when it wasn't that serious. He was saying that I should be grateful that he even wrote that song for me. He was like, I was there for you when you were going through that rough time. Guys, no, he wasn't. He doesn't even know what happened to me. He didn't even know what I was even going through to get to that low point that I was at, guys. After he sent that text, everything he said, he deleted it. because he instantly regretted what he said, like, as soon as he sent it. But luckily, Joseph was right there, so he also saw the messages. After that happened, me and him are just looking at each other in my bed, and I'm just like, wow, I can't believe this is crazy. The story pretty much ends there with this guy in particular. Cookie will definitely be making a reappearance in another story time. He was one of the many people that took advantage of my vulnerable mental state at the time. I do want to let you guys know that I am in a way better place now. I am not sad at all. I recovered ever since back then. YouTube is a good outlet for me to tell my stories and get stuff like this off my chest and have you guys see the crazy parts of my life. That was all I had for today's story time. Sorry for not uploading for so long. I haven't really had the time or space to do it. In a couple of months, I'm going to have way more time. I'm moving to a new apartment where I'm going to have my own room, most likely. As soon as I get into that space, I will definitely be banging out a bunch of videos for you guys, because I have been holding out on you. This was the first part of the crazy linear series of stories that's going to unfold on this channel. This was just the icebreaker. Yes, that's the word I was looking for the series of crazy events that is about to unfold on this channel. Those videos, in fact, will have skits in them. I'm sorry that this one didn't, but yeah, that's all I have for today's video. If you guys like what you saw today, please leave a like and subscribe. I am Nas the King. Thank you guys all so much for watching and subscribing. And goodbye.
Shorty be feeling to see me. Niggas be watching my moves like a TV. They be talking about thinking I be me, huh? I can like Gigi. Shorty be feeling to see me. Niggas be watching my moves like a TV. They be talking about thinking I be me, like that. You talking blocks, we spinning that. Don't you know I was be spinning back? Boy, talking hot to me, not for fitted cop. Get hit with a brick, I ain't talking crack. Finna go cop me a zip, then I'm flipping that. Know that I'm flipping that. One of my bills to be blue, yeah, I'm in it. Ain't playing, I'm speaking fast. Gigi.